Women Are Worthy show. I have Shellton LaBron, and he's the artist. He's Georgia's #1 premier artist in Georgia. So we're gonna do word association. Square.
Block.
God.
Infinity.
Woman.
Love.
Love.
Power.
Child.
Enjoyment.
Women Are Worthy.
Extraordinary.
Jacqueline Charles.
Royalty.
Yeah! Interns.
Students.
Sage.
My love.
You heard that, Sage? He said you're his love.
My heart.
Marriage.
Ooh. Unity.
Unity. Unity.
The two become one.
I know that the next word association is unity.
Oh, wow. It goes back to one.
Fraternity.
Fraternity. Brotherhood.
Sisterhood.
Sorority.
Debbie.
Friend.
Marketplace 120.
Extraordinary. Great gallery. I don't know.
I know.
That was a good gallery.
That was such a great gallery.
Yeah.
Debbie was phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Cobb County.
Police. I think it's Cobb County. I think the police.
See what I'm talking about? That's why we got to do more behind the badge series. Because when I say Cobb County, he says police. Well, maybe that could be a good thing, or you know. But it was a pleasure, my brother, for you being on the show. We thank you.
It was an honor being here.
Thank you. So without further ado, bye. Hi everyone, welcome to the Women Are Worthy show. Well, look, we ran a little bit late because we had technical difficulties, but now everything is fine. Hi Instagram, how you doing Instagram? I feel so good. I'm shining, feeling really great. Today we have our wonderful guest. We have Mr. Shellton LaBron. He is the wonderful artist who's responsible for the artwork that we're looking at today. So, and I need to mention and I need to say this. Shellton is Georgia's #1 premier visual artist. Woo! Can I get some claps in the background? Yes! So Instagram, it's just so, yes sir?
Stylist KD Harden says hello.
Hi! Oh, that's my stylist. I love her. Hello, she was on our show. Well, we want to thank you for tuning in, share the page and what we're doing. So today, see, we had a stylist, now we have an artiste. We moving on up in the world, y'all. So Shellton, your artwork is just phenomenal.
Thank
Can you tell us a little bit about what made you start? But before we do that, I want people to see the artwork. I want people to see the artwork that we have here, okay? The visuals is just amazing. His artwork just makes me look gorgeous today.
Yeah, that's right.
But tell us a little bit about why you decided, because everyone has talents, and a lot of people don't walk into their purpose.
Right.
So what made you decide to, God gave me this, I can draw. What made you take that leap?
Because it's an outlet. A lot of people don't know the process of creating art is very therapeutic. And so just doing a daily job, that wasn't something that a creative person like me would ever feel was going to fulfill my soul and my spirit.
Okay.
And so creating art and creating vibrancy and something intense, it just kind of gave me life.
See, and so you heard that, right? It gave him life. Because so often when we're plagued, and I'm going to use the word plagued, we have a purpose. We know that we need to do something else, but we're just not doing it. I'm just amazed. I feel like I've met Andy Warhol. I've met Michelangelo.
Oh, wow.
Y'all know I'm extra, but I'm truthful. And your art has touched me in so many ways. But before I do that, I want to give a special shout out to Debbie, who introduced us.
Right.
Okay, what was the name? What was the name of the location?
Marketplace 120.
Marketplace 120. We met in Marietta, and from then on, it's been I'm like a stalker when it comes to his art. He's just doing beautiful work. So if someone's out there and they need to purchase your art or they want to know how to get in contact with you, how can they get in contact with you?
Oh, sure. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Okay.
And it's So True Art. That's the word So True and Art.
Okay.
And of course, Shellton LaBron is my website. So it's www.Shellton with 2 L's, LaBron. That's LABRON.
Now, what school, did you go to school for this?
No, it's all self-taught.
Wait a minute. And I know my intern's gonna get upset. Do y'all see this? This is his work. Look at this. This is his work. Now, he's gonna tell me that he was self-taught. So, when you say self-taught, please explain that to me because I can't conceptualize that.
Well, I didn't receive formalized training from a professor of art or nor was I an intern for an artist. I basically took a few classes, in high school, but developed my painting techniques for myself. My painting techniques, my drawing, my concepts, and the different things like these cubes idea. This is kind of something I just imagined and came up with.
What I love about your art is you empower women. And I've noticed a lot of things, his artwork, it doesn't sexualize women. It puts them in like a queendom type state. And I think I didn't know.
That's
But
right.
I love that you basically elevate and empower and embrace women. And I love that with your artwork. Now, who's your ideal customer?
That's a good question.
Oh, I'm getting better.
You know what? I'm kind of universal.
Okay.
But I think women have more of an interest and appreciation of art because ladies like to accessorize and they like decor and they like things that are very beautiful. Usually men want something that's kind of structured, kind of abstract, but ladies kind of like things of different genres. And the reason why, and I'm glad you picked up on that, why I focus on beautifying women because it is my mother who actually got me started in art.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what did she do? She said, here's some paintbrushes. Because I know growing up when I was a little child, 2 years ago, that you would get your 60, I remember it was 16, then it was 36 and 64 and 120 Crayola. I am no good when it comes to coloring. I color outside the lines. Maybe that's why my personality is that way. But when you said your mother introduced you to art, how did she introduce you?
Well, my mom is very creative. So she's a seamstress, kind of fashion designer, but she's also a painter. So she had this painting of a unicorn back when maybe 5 or 6, and I just thought that was the most incredible thing to have this unicorn in a painting. That's something that she created with her hands. And so I said, well, I wish I could draw. I wish I could paint. And she said, well, how you doing until you try? And so she just pushed me to keep trying and doing, and then I kind of found out that I had a natural talent at it. It was a gift.
And see, that's why it's so important for parents to pour into their children. If there's a talent that your child possesses, it's so important to surround them with the people who can help them. If you can't help them yourselves, just to elevate them. Now, with that said, what do you do? Because I'm thinking like when you go to sleep, you're seeing all these colors and abstracts. When you go to sleep, like what do you, if you don't mind sharing with me, because I've noticed people who are artists, they're not just creative, but they're highly, highly intelligent. And I'm not saying it because I know you. That's the statistics out there. So what is it that when you go to sleep at night, do you have to shut it down? Because as an artist, you constantly want to do better and better and better. So how do you shut it down at night?
I don't think you can. I think you go to sleep thinking of ideas and concepts, and you wake up, because usually that's where I get a lot of my inspiration from, either through dreams or things just kind of pop in my head. And so the type of artist I am, a conceptual artist, and kind of juxtapose things together. If I come up with a concept, I usually do thumbnail sketches or I write the idea down. That way I can maybe come back to it later. And that's what people have to do as being an artist. Once something inspires you, something hits you, you need to, document that then, because a lot of times, if you wake up from a dream and if you don't really try to focus on it, think about it, you'll forget it later.
That's true, because now what I do is I have a pad and paper on my nightstand. So when I wake up, when I'm dreaming, but I have this ability that if I'm dreaming and I it's almost like a movie and it goes cut and I have to get up and get some water, I can go right back into the dream and pick up right where I left off. So I realize
You're gonna
that.
get you start painting.
No, that's just not my forte. I know this is my forte, the talking, but I'm just amazed at what you're doing. So where do you see yourself, Sheldon, 5 years down the line from here? Where do you see yourself 5 years from today?
In the Louvre, in Paris.
Ooh,
Yes.
oui, monsieur.
Tokyo.
And that's good. So what can we do? Because what I really, come a little closer. What I would like for everyone to do is go to his website, go to his pages and look at his artwork. I mean, it's not expensive. After this show, he's gonna probably double his range. But I want people to go and look at that because, art is really, and I like the fact that now Jay-Z is making it cool for, the rappers to buy art because they never understood that. But art is something that, to me it's memories. Instead of going like going to a club or doing this, I like to make memories with my friends, whether we go out and eat dinner, one-on-one. I just love what you're doing. And my favorite painting, and I don't have it right now, is your Black Panther. I love you guys. I have to show you guys that picture, and I'm gonna definitely post that later on because it's one of my absolute favorite pictures. But to be perfectly honest, I want to ask you, what was your inspiration on Roma?
Okay, so where this comes from is the technology that the Romans had back in ancient history.
Okay.
And so this collection is about blending the history of Roma with technology of the future. And so it's called Roman construct. And so the intellect and the studies and teachings that they had back then is mixing and becoming blended, merging with our technology. So we eventually going to become something like this.
Wow, Chris, can they see Roma on Instagram? Because I really want them to see that. They can see Roma?
Yeah,
That
now
is just beautiful. Take a look at that. Yeah, please. That is gorgeous. Look at this. That is gorgeous. You brought 3 paintings. He's gonna leave with 2. This is gorgeous. I love that. And what's your inspiration? Because I'd like you to walk us through. So, did you have a dream about Roma? You conceptualize, like you had, like how did you? And I'm stuttering because I just cannot believe. I knew you were talented, but I'm just not understanding how you can put the colors together and they're meshing. It's just so complicated for someone like me.
Well, like I said, it's a gift.
Right.
It's sometimes things that's formulated in your head,
Right.
and you just match what you feel goes together.
Okay.
And then it becomes second nature.
Because the colors are so powerful. It's just, it's just wonderful. And with the woman and the lips and just phenomenal. And I'm gonna keep saying phenomenal because I'm in the presence of a true artiste. Okay, the butterfly.
Okay, so this collection was kind of started by my oldest daughter. I have an oldest daughter named Elise, and she said, "Hey, Pop, you need to paint some butterflies." And I was like, "Why butterflies?" She said, "They're beautiful." And I said, "Well, that's interesting, just like ladies. Ladies are butterflies, right?" And so I said, "Well, ladies have these different personalities and things." So I said, "Well, let me research butterflies." And I found that there's so many varieties.
Right.
This is actually a real butterfly called a red ruby. And so, I seen people paint a lot of times the monarch.
Right.
But doing research, I realized they have all types of different wings and different colors and different, textures to them. And so that's why you see the texture in the background. Because if you ever touch a butterfly, which actually no one should do, but you realize that butterflies have a lot of texture. And so that's why you see the texture in the background and just creating different color schemes is beautiful. And they incorporate all the aspects of art. Butterflies have color, they have line, they have texture, they have shape and form. So it just,
Makes
coincides with art.
And what I love about this red, and it just makes me, in the background just appear so vibrant. It's so powerful, like red orange, blood red orange or something. It's just so powerful.
Good eye, you see it.
I can't paint, but I know my colors. I said I had 64 Crayola colors, crayons. No, but seriously, it's just a really, really nice. So normally artists likes to sign their painting. Is there a reason why you sign yours on the right hand side? Is there a reason why you do that?
Not in particular.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes I sign it on the left, and sometimes I sign on the vertical.
Okay. This is what I'm talking about right now. Yes. I'm sure a lot of people be thinking Steelers and all that kind of stuff. But can you tell us about this?
So this collection is called a Comedic Construct, and this is actually number 5. Number 5. And so this is the blending of the original Comedic people. So from 3000 BC. So how did these people build pyramids? How did they come up with this technology and this architecture? And so this is about us being the stuff that stars are made out of. So you see a lot of universe and planets and things like that. So all the elements of the universe that make up creation makes us. We're part of that.
Right.
And so she's part of that.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of symbolism in here. You hear the scarab beetle, of course, the Black Panther, the Ankh. So it's all the different things and aspects of the Egyptian or Kemetic culture blended into the painting.
Okay, here's a question I have for you, because when I told some people that you were going to be on, somehow I have this young lady, and I know she's watching, or she'll be watching in the replay. Her son has an interest in art. But somehow she feels she doesn't want to nurture that because in her mind, art and homosexuality goes together.
That's interesting.
So I want you as a male artist to talk to someone out there whose child shows interest in the art world, because it's in the art world, and she's thinking ballet and all the other things. So, my job is not to judge her, it's to love her, to educate her. So what would you tell someone like that?
Well, first, art is really more just a creative process. It's also a marketing process, it's a business. And I think that's the aspect that people lose, is that they think that it's just something that creative people do, but people really want to make a living at this.
Right.
And so art is everywhere, regardless. It's in architecture, it is in decor, it is in buildings. If you go into a high-rise here in Atlanta or anywhere, you're going to see art, because art inspires people. And so I don't see the connection to a person's choices as far as that, because if you look at most of the most famous artists, even today, it's a variety of people.
Right.
It's heterosexual, it's women, it's men. It doesn't really matter.
Right. And that's what I wanted her to hear, because, coming from you, a male, maybe, she'll think other ways. Not that for me, there's anything wrong with it, but she just when she mentioned that to me, I'm like, wait a minute. I didn't want to say it doesn't make sense. I just didn't understand the connection. So I wanted to talk about that. So now, where would you like to see, let's say we had a president in the White House, and he wanted to give $50 million, I'm just throwing that out there, into the arts. What would you like to, and you were in control of that, what would you like what would you do with that money?
I would develop children into the arts. I mean, when you say arts, it's so broad.
Yes, it's true.
It's not just visual art, it's performing art. There's theatrical art. So that's a very, very wide spectrum. And that tends the creative people tend to make up the people who beautify the world.
Mm-hmm.
So using that money to send for scholarships, paid internships and things like that, or sending people around the world and travel, to see the different cultures around the world. Whether it's Asian culture, African culture. So yeah, that money could be used a variety of ways.
Do you think that it was a disservice when art came, when we had that come out of the classroom?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, it was definitely a disservice because it cut down on cognitive thinking and analytical skills. Because art kind of pushes kids to think outside the box.
Yes.
And that's actually what made America kind of stand out from other countries because of our innovation and our imagination.
And you know what, I was joking about coloring, but I do find it therapeutic. My coloring that I do, and look, don't shame me, okay? I'm the one where it says orange is one. You whenever you see like a paint, like an outline, and that's how you color by numbers. I have no problem. Look, see what I'm saying? I'm sitting next to an artist and he's laughing at me because that's what I do. But and for me, I've noticed, because now it's a big thing. You can download the app, doing that. And I find it so soothing. Like when I'm stressed out, overwhelmed, and I feel like a panic attack's about to happen, I actually start coloring. And it's really therapeutic for me because it's like everything else is shut down. I'm concentrating and things like that. So, where have you gone? No, what place in the world would you like to go and be there for a year and just paint?
Oh, wow.
I know I'm coming up with some good questions.
Yeah.
I know. No, but seriously, if you can't think about it now, we can come back to that. But I'll give you 2 places. You can go there for 6 months, bring sage with you, and you can actually, everything is paid for. Your job is just to paint.
I would say the Aegean, the Greek Isles, and Turkish Isles. Yeah,
Wow.
That would be one of the first places.
Okay.
And
the
then
second?
probably somewhere around Lake Victoria in Africa. Yeah, very exotic.
See, you're mentioning places, I thought you were going to say Egypt, the pyramids, or, Bali, or, well, Bali's not, but definitely Greece. Definitely.
Yeah, I like the landscape. I like the beautiful land. I like Egypt, but it's desert.
Right.
It's very monochromatic in the art world.
So for you, what is your favorite thing or object to paint?
Probably faces.
I guess that,
I would say faces.
So, I'm just so happy to have you. This man has been so busy. He went to Miami, and what was the event that you went to?
Art Basel.
And can you tell me about Art Basel? Because I heard they said Kanye West was there.
Oh yeah.
They talked about him being there, and so tell me a little bit about that.
So Art Basel originally started in Switzerland. And so Art Basel Miami is actually the second tier of the Switzerland show. And they also have Basel in Hong Kong. And so Art Basel Miami is an international gathering of artists, creatives, sculptors from around the world, where art collectors, galleries, and curators come to procure art for their establishments or for their clientele.
Do we have anything similar to that? Because we're in hot Atlanta, where artists, performers, every form of media is here. Tyler Perry, I know you're watching this, okay? You need to put some of his artwork in your studios.
Yes.
Atlanta Airport, you need to put some of his artwork in your studios. And any gallery that's out there, you really need to, I'm telling you, this is just a smidgen of what he has. This guy is phenomenal. And if you need to commission something, we can get it, check me out, we can get it done. So, of all the artists or sculptors that are out there, living or dead, who is your favorite or one of the person you most admire?
Visual artist, Dali.
Okay. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I love Salvador Dali, and I'm actually planning on visiting his museum in Tampa.
Okay.
Michelangelo for his sculpture. Yeah, his sculptures are. To me, I like his sculptures more so than his paintings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And I like a variety of artists.
So, okay, other than those two, if living or dead, if you can sit down and have an interview with an artist and a sculptor, who would you like to have that conversation with?
Rembrandt.
Oh my God, yes,
Rembrandt.
yes.
Rembrandt.
Now, since you mentioned Rembrandt, I have a question. And a person living or dead that you would like to paint.
Mm-hmm.
2 people I'll give you 4. 2 women and 2 men.
Rihanna.
Ooh, yes.
Aaliyah.
Yes, okay, I can get with that. I'm liking your choices.
Yeah. I like girls that's kind of edgy and ladies that's kind of different. So,
Okay.
as far as men, living or dead.
Living or dead. Mm-hmm.
Hannibal.
Hannibal, like Hannibal Lecter?
No. Hannibal.
Oh, Hannibal back in then, okay. Because I'm like Hannibal Lecter. Because I'm here. Okay.
Just because I'm a type of person, I love the military. You'll be very surprised how I love the whole thing about the military.
The structure and the makeup and the conquering.
The armor, stuff like that.
So the Roman kind of empire.
Mm-hmm. All that stuff.
Okay.
The Chinese dynasties, the Egyptian,
like
the Ramses, and I like all that stuff.
Okay.
And probably, I'm trying to pick someone who's alive that I really like. And probably a king. I want to really get deeper into Mansa Musa. I know he's dead, but I want to get really deeper into Mansa Musa and the whole Mali Empire and even his father, Sonina.
You know what I've noticed with artists, and it may make sense to you, but I just really, the circle has been closed, that most artists that I do talk to, when it comes to history, they're history buffs. Mm-hmm. Because they do the research, and I'm like, wow. And I didn't realize that. Why is that?
Because inspiration. Those people inspire you. Their lives push you to imagine things, and you want to know more about how they actually conceptualize. What were their strategies? What were their lives like? What did they love? And so you want to. Once you learn that, it kind of pushes you to bring that out of yourself.
Now, is the art world supportive of someone of your talent?
Supportive in what way?
Supportive in such as, hey, there's an event going on here, maybe you want to show up here, things like that.
Oh, you open up a can of worms.
You look, let's get some tea. Because, I come from a space where I believe that we should all support each other.
Yeah.
And to me, living in Georgia, I was raised in New York, but living in Georgia, it's almost like,
it's very cliquish.
It's almost very cliquish, and if something's good, it's good. And if you're not gonna buy it, make sure someone else buys it. But I'm noticing it's like cliquish. So I'm on the outside looking in, so I was just asking.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50. I get a lot of support from friends and other artists. I don't know why. In other cities, the art world is more closer. They're more of a niche and
a family.
Yeah, exactly. They're more of a community and family. But Atlanta's 50-50. I'm not sure why.
So what do we need to do for those watching? What do we need to do to make sure? Because I'm telling you, you cannot. They mentioned there's a saying that. If you're looking for millionaires, if you're looking for lots of millionaires, they're in the graveyard, okay? And because they've died with their passions and ideas.
Exactly.
So we never want your light to ever dim because, first of all, it can't dim because you're so powerful and so bright. I want to know, what can Jackie Charles, what can Women Are Worthy, what can we do to help elevate what you're doing other than doing a show? Because I've always told you that you're an amazing artist. And again, I want to thank Debbie for making this introduction. You're an amazing artist. And looking at you, and then when I see the stuff that you do, it's powerful. Not saying that you're not a powerful man, but it's just that I know you have so many things inside that you want to paint. So what can we do? What can they do to support you to make sure that we can get you to the next level? What can we do? Purchasing your art, but what else can we do?
Just letting people know who I am. Clicking on my social media, informing people of my show. support for an artist is not necessarily always monetary, but that's how I want to. I want to be able to sell my work, that way I can produce more and expose myself to more people. But just supporting arts in general, just send me feedback, telling me sometimes what they like and what they don't like and things like that. But yeah, for artists, it's really to be seen. So it's verbalizing and marketing those artists.
If you could go back in time, what would you tell your 10-year-old self?
Oh, wow.
We get deeps on this show.
Wow.
We get deep. Yeah.
Never stop. Never stop. Once you start down this path, always create. Because
Did you stop at one point?
Yes. I stopped for 15 years.
Oh.
Yeah, I stopped for 15 years. Just due to college and working and kind of being discouraged, because what people tend to do is like, oh, you won't be able to make any money at art, and it's not really a career. When it is, it's a career if you study and apply it and you think of it as a business.
Right.
And I think people just want to create art for the sake of creating art, and then they want to think about the business part secondary. But you have to kind of think about that at the same time. You have to take time to market yourself, expose yourself to the right people, show, and start small. Because I've seen what a lot of artists do, they try to go big, and without your name recognition, you may not be able to get the exposure that you want or the sales that you want initially.
Okay. Well, do you have any questions for us? Because I don't know. Is this a dragonfly?
That's butterfly.
Okay. And the reason I'm saying that because I saw, ever since I saw your butterflies, and I am just like, again, amazed. And for those of you, you have to tune in. You've got to go on his page. What is the website? What's the website? If you have a website, or what's your Facebook page?
Yeah. Or Shellton LaBron. That's SHELLTON. LaBron, LABRON. Website, same thing, ShelltonLaBron.com. I'm on Instagram, it's So True Art, or Shellton LaBron, and on Twitter, it's So True Art.
Please, we want you to if you're watching this show, in the replays, please make sure you share, like, subscribe, because we really want his art. I'm telling you, he's amazing. And he is voted the #1 artist, Georgia's #1 artist in visual artist in Georgia. So we want to make sure that, you share this. There's always presents, because sometimes we buy presents for people and it's not memories. This is memories, you know what I'm saying? Hanging on the wall, and you can say, I remember in 2020 when it's like 2090, by then your name's all over the place in Paris and all those places, because you're well known. But I really appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate you as a man. I appreciate you as a friend. I appreciate you as an artist. And I want you to continue to do what you're doing, because it's just magnificent. Okay? So without further ado, we want to thank everyone for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. We really appreciate you for watching. And again, subscribe, like, what we're doing, and we're going to continue to share everything that we're doing. This is our last show for 2019. My interns all jumping for joy, like they have a life. No, we still gonna be doing things, okay? Like next week. But anyway, we want to thank everyone for tuning into the Women Are Worthy show. Please like us on the Women Are Worthy show on Facebook, Instagram. It's the Women Are Worthy show, and on Facebook, it's the Women Are Worthy Network. On YouTube, it's the Women Are Worthy Network. So without further ado, we want to thank everyone for supporting us. And again, Shellton LaBron, that is his name. Okay, so please look out for him, because I'm telling you, he's going to be in the airport if I got something to do with it. He's going to be in galleries if I have something to do with it. And he's going to be in city halls if I got something to do with it, okay? So we need him at the airport. We need him at the airport, Mayor Keisha Bottoms. We need him at the airport. So without further ado, bye.